Director of Nursing and Nigerian Ports Authority. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
We're very, very, very glad to have you here. And if you've been following the conversation, we've been having series of talks around genetic counseling, and today we're going to actually settle on the topic genetic counseling in sickle cell disorder. We went through the whole process of actually diagnosing the sickle cell disease, but right now we're talking about the counseling and how to actually take people through the process. So yes, Dr. Annette Akinsete, like I always say, here you go, take the lead.
Okay, thank you. And then before we even get into it, Mr. Otaigbe is also director of the Sickle Cell Foundation in Nigeria. She's an executive that she works with us. She's experienced, I can't even count the number of years of experience she has in counseling and nursing, but we can't go through all that today. I just want her to focus on what she does and does so well with the children and families of those who have a sickle cell, and even prospective couples and so on and so forth. But again, to set the stage as usual, we just remind ourselves of what sickle cell is, and what it is not. As a matter of fact, again, it is not abiku. It is not obanje. It is not caused by witchcraft. It is a genetic condition. It is inherited. An inherited disorder you get from your father and your mother. It's not infectious. You can't catch it by associating with somebody very closely, by hugging people, by eating together. So nothing like that. It is an inherited genetic condition. And then where is it? The problem in sickle cell lies in the blood. And in the blood, it lies in the red blood cell. In the red blood cell, it lies in that substance that we talked about. That big name that we call hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin.
But we don't even go back to that name. It's just that substance that makes our blood red. And it is the substance that helps us carry oxygen around the body.
Okay.
Most people have the usual hemoglobin A, designated A. But those who have sickle cell have the one that's designated S. 2 copies of this, one from your mother, one from your father. And what it does, it changes the shape of the substance or the characteristics of the red cell, so it is no longer as efficient as the hemoglobin A cell. So it doesn't carry blood effectively and efficiently around the body. And all the problems that this condition causes lie in this. That's what the pathology is. So I think I will hand over to Mrs. Otaigbe now to tell us what she does with persons, because genetic counseling spans through the gamut, from prevention to treatment, care, and so on.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Otaigbe, please go ahead.
Okay, I will start with what is genetic counseling. Genetic counseling is the provision of accurate, full, and unbiased information in a caring relationship that offers guidance but allows the affected individuals and the families to make their own decisions. And we have the principles we follow in genetic counseling. Genetic counseling must be informative, must be confidential, non-directive, and it must be supportive. Okay. What do we mean when we say it must be informative? It means information you give will be able to educate the client, it should eliminate myths, all the wrong, suspicious beliefs, and also communication must involve appropriate language, illustrations, and imagery. And we take into consideration the cultural and educational background of the client when you are passing your information. And also at the end of it all, we give them leaflets to take home to read more about it. We give referral where it is necessary. So what do we mean when we say it should be confidential? The client
Just hold that thought. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, we need to adjust a few mic levels. We'll be back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Okay. So when we say must be confidential, it means the clients, you must respect the privacy of the clients must be respected and kept. If they know you are going to divulge the information about them to other people. They will not open up to you next time. They may not. You will lose them. They won't come back.
Okay.
So confidentiality is very important, and that is why we do one-on-one genetic counseling. Except if a family comes, we don't join another family
Okay.
with them, so that one family will not be hearing the secrets of the other family.
Okay.
So, and also, we say it must be non-directive. You give full and unbiased information, accurate information. You must allow the client to make their own decision. It is very unethical for the genetic counselor to impose his or her decision upon the client.
When you say unbiased, what do you mean by unbiased?
Unbiased means we don't say because you come from any ethnic group or something. You know, some they have this stereotype. Oh, Igbos are always like this. So always like that. So when they enter the room, they're already having that feeling.
Okay.
So, and because they are not biased, too means you are able to. You are not biased by anything you give. You look at every individual as
a logical.
Yes. You don't say because some the Hausas are very dirty. This one are very. When they enter, you already say don't touch the table. Don't do this.
Okay.
So you are open.
Okay.
You are not biased by anything, by the gender, by the educational background, by anything.
By the social status.
Yes, or social status.
Yeah.
Whether you are governor, whether you are, I told you the day this man came, that human, whether you are this, is the same attention. The same attention. So, if information must be accurate. That's why a genetic counselor must be knowledgeable, so that you don't give incorrect information.
And you always have to stay updated because things are changing. You need to be able to talk about those changes.
So, and when we say it must be supportive, you must not be judgmental. You must empathize with and support the decision taken by the client. I would say it's unethical and it's counterproductive if the genetic counselor imposes his or her decision upon the client. It's counterproductive.
Even if that decision is for the good or for the best of that client.
That's why it's genetic counselling. And
yes.
she's telling us the principles.
I'm telling you the principles
that are non-directive.
So the role of the genetic counselor is to give accurate, full and unbiased information that will direct the client to make effective, informed decision
on their own.
So you don't on their own. You don't decide for them. That's why first of all, told you what does sickle cell mean? The description. I mentioned it. Unbiased, full, accurate. In a caring relationship, it offers guidance but allows the affected individuals and their families to make their own decision. Because some just think, especially when it comes to marriages, oh, AS is coming today. They think you will say, AS, don't marry or marry. We don't do that. We give the full information, correct information. Based on the information you have received, you now go and make an informed decision whether to go ahead or not. Even when we want to refer people, because during counseling, apart from getting the correct information, we also let them know where they can get healthcare services. So we give them referral letters to these healthcare services. Without that, some of them don't know where to go when their children are ill. They don't know that sickle cell children or adults must be under the hematologist. Doctors who are specialized in looking after people with sickle cell disorder. So it's true that. So if you say, we've seen that when you say marry or don't marry, because that's why we say sensitivity must be applied to sickle cell, those with sickle cell in the community. Otherwise, people who have sickle cell disorder may feel stigmatized. They may also be tempted to conceal or deny or falsify their hemoglobin genotype status. We have seen all this. So, but when you allow them to make an informed decision after they giving them, laying the card on the table, giving the full information, Some will say, especially if it's come to marriage, some will say we can't go ahead. Some will say we will go ahead. We also give them options. Options either to come and do prenatal diagnosis. Prenatal diagnosis, the testing of the baby in the womb between 10 to 12 weeks.
Yes, yeah. Because I think Keisha said something.
Okay. Or some will say, or taking a risk, limiting the size of family, or doing genetic implantations, diagnosis. Some who have money, they go to do that one. We give them the address where to go. Okay. But to say you impose it on them, they will falsify their results. Some churches say, don't marry. If you are ASAS or ACAS, we won't marry you. What they do, they go and falsify their results. When they have made up their mind that they are going ahead, they will falsify the results. Say, Bishop want to see AA, make your own AA. Let my own remain AS. Even some have falsified it for their parents. We saw some parents who say, if you are AS, don't bring that man here. Don't bring AS man to me since you are AS. And the other one, don't bring AS girl to me since my son you are AS.
They go ahead and falsify it.
Yeah. One, they have made up their mind. They falsify and say, tell you my parents when you get there that you have hemoglobin genotype AS. AA. And when they have a baby, even when it's SS, they don't care. They will still hide it until the parents will discover. But why not tell them? That's why we are encouraging people. Tell people to come for genetic counseling. Whether you are affected individual with sickle cell disorder, hemoglobin SS, hemoglobin SC, sickle beta thalassemia, etc., tell them to come for genetic counseling. If you are ASS, tell them to come for genetic counseling. Based on the information, they will make an informed decision. So we always support our genetic counselor. Whatever decision they make, we support them. We empathize with them. We don't condemn. We don't judge anybody. And we give them the room to be able to explore their feelings and also their attitude. We give them room also to explore their values.
So it's like
their
therapy.
feelings. Yes. So, and we give psychological support. We don't just give. We do holistic counseling, holistic care. If you psychologically or emotionally upset, because we have discovered that emotions even cause when you are emotionally disturbed, your crises are even more than any. Because when the mind is sick, the whole body is sick. Bible says a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's the mind who reason everything. One, they are not happy. One, they are under. They are being. Some are in a very hostile environment. Some parents don't care. If he want to die, let him die. We are looking after one boy with ulcer. Navy was even Navy was even admitting him, giving blood transfusion free of charge. He was coming for Lagos Hill. Later, they sent him to the village. When we asked somebody to go and inquire, they said the parents said they don't care, and he went to the village. After a few months, the boy died because there was no good care. You can some live in that hostile environment. But when we discover during counseling, at times we invite the parents. Most of the time, we invite them to come for counseling themselves. And if there's any support, the foundation can give by sourcing for funds for such people. Foundation does that if it is possible. So all these are the things we explore during counseling.
Okay, we're going to break, and when we come back, we're going to take examples, or you're going to tell us typical examples of things you've interfaced with people without divulging information. All right, guys, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Into surviving sickle cell, brought to you by Inspiration FM in collaboration with the Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria. We have Dr. Annette, Akinsete, and of course, Mrs. Otaigbe in the building talking to us about genetic counseling. If you're just joining us, you're a bit late, but it doesn't mean you won't learn something. So sit back, relax as we give you information needed. All right, Dr. Otaigbe, Mrs. Otaigbe, you were telling us about the principles of genetic counseling. So now, would you care to share any practical examples that you've had that would actually make people understand that it's important to go out there and get counseling rather than hide your status?
It is important to come for genetic counseling because during genetic counseling, we saw that those who are stigmatized, when they come for genetic counseling, we show them the people who live with sickle cell disorder, role models, successful role models with sickle cell disorder. They are encouraged when we show them that they are doing well in the community. So those who were stigmatized and feel, oh, it's not worth living because I have sickle cell. We also encourage them to join the sickle cell club where they can socialize with others, meet with others, and then see all these successful people in the society, accountants, lawyers of big companies, engineers like computer engineers, magistrates. When they see all this, they say, let me give you a typical example. One woman brought a 2-year-old child for counseling, and then she was crying. Pastors from their church followed because they wanted to divorce because the first child, he said, some of them, they make error in their diagnosis. So because of that, it's more painful for those who didn't want to marry AS if they are AS, hemoglobin genotype, and love say, my husband is AA, I'm AS, whereas both of them are AS. So when they now have children, and the first child or second is S, they feel very devastated after they want to marry somebody, especially if they have experienced a very close person who has sickle cell disorder with complications, turbulence, and all that. So they say, I will never give birth to, I won't marry her. So he brought this and he said they must divorce. The woman said they must divorce. So the church, the pastor followed. They were trying to encourage them not to divorce so that they can look after this baby. So she was crying that this baby that is crying that will soon die because they don't live up to 21. Even if they reach past 10, if they pass 10 years of age, they are lucky. So he was looking at this child as a transient between life and death. It's just playing, I can die the next day. So I was trying to reassure her, showed her pictures in the album of those living. As God will have it, Mrs. Asheyege came. You know, I was trying to bring the magazine of Mrs. Asheyege. Mrs. Asheyege came. Mrs. Asheyege is 50 now. The children are already entering universities, hemoglobin SS. He's the coordinator of Ikorodu Schools Area Club and is a businesswoman. So she came in. I said, God, thank you very much for bringing this woman. Tell her yourself, Asheyege. Tell her, I just say, I'm SS. The woman said, no, you cannot be SS. Because if you really see Mrs. Asheyege, you won't know it's SS.
Because she's well looked after.
Well looked after. When they are well looked after her. So she now said it the third time before the woman believed. And then he now removed glasses from her face and said, oh God, there is hope. And that was what settled everything.
So real life examples she's saying are very helpful.
Yeah. Very helpful.
And also Mrs. Popola, one of our guests here, brought her own life's experience to bear and how her family supported her. And that in fact she credits her longevity, is about she's 62 now, to her family support and genetic counselling.
Yes.
So that, and please remind us, Mrs. Otaigbe, about the family that a sibling was very upset with her parents for taking care of her sister more than her.
Okay.
So she felt this is the child who is normal, and so there's family fracas. Because she felt that her
giving more
parents
attention
to one child. So this is family counselling is what
we also do that family counselling, and because we tell them not to neglect other children during counseling. They must make sure. So when it's like this, when other siblings are very jealous, we invite all of them. We say, bring the siblings who can understand.
Yes.
Not the 2-year-old. Just bring those who are old enough to understand what we are talking about. We found out that when we counsel them, telling them what sickle cell is all about, do you want your brother to be having crisis when he does stressful work? If he doesn't eat balanced diet well, the blood level will be low. We'll be running to the hospital to give blood transfusion. When we counsel them well, you will see they will even be the one to be helping that child.
They become part of the care team. Yes.
They will become part of the carers. Go and take your water. Please don't carry that heavy bucket. Please don't do this. So counseling also helps
as a family
to resolve that issue. There was one who had emotional stress because siblings, he wanted to run away from home. He was doing mass comm in Unilag. Parents are well to do. If you come to money, that wasn't the issue. That's why I say emotional. She was having, I've counseled her. She was not having crisis. 10 times she was admitted, blood transfusion, almost every month. Because when they have emotional stress, they won't eat well, they won't relate well. So she wanted to run out from the house. So during counseling, I invited the parents. He said that one day he was coming from India, the brother was asked to come and pick her. And then she said something. The brother said, "Why are you rude to me? I will see who will be coming to take you to this school." They used to drive her to school, drive her to hospital. When you have that your crisis, I will say we drive you to the hospital. Oh, very horrible words. But through counseling, because I spent 4 hours the day they came for counseling with the parent, I will tell the mother, go and stay in the waiting room. Let me hear, pour out everything. Because if the mother is around, may not be able to
hold back.
Everything. Yeah. So I will not tell the girl, go and wait, let your mother. If the mother talks about the girl, we say let them go and throw the girl away. That the girl is rude. You will not even know the helper or the sibling. You see but after counseling, the girl I was about referring her to psychologists, but through the help of God, everything was resolved. She finished, she's working via now. She finished this thing. University. So these are some of the things we see from siblings. They will think you are paying more attention to them. I should do that because of you. Every time, go and buy that drug for you. Every time, take you to hospital. But during counseling, everything is
resolved. So time is no longer on our side. We've actually gone past our time because these things are very important to note. But Dr. Annette, can you just tell us in passing, in summary, what are the things we need to take home from this discussion today?
Okay, this is it. At the beginning, I started out by saying that this genetic counseling as an intervention spans the whole gamut, the whole spectrum of prevention, treatment, care, support, and even cure. Because at every stage, everybody who's going to be exposed to treatment or care or cure will need to be counseled. If you're even coming in for prenatal diagnosis, you want to know the genotype of your unborn child, you need to be counseled. So counseling is at every stage. It's a tool we deploy, and it's, like I said, it's for at every level of sickle cell programming. So I just want to say, if anyone is listening, and you know persons who have sickle cell, encourage them to come to our center for genetic counseling. Even if you do not have sickle cell, but you're planning to get married, you need to come in for testing and counseling.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm very sure that people who haven't said anything have learned so much today. We'll be back next week, Saturday. Hopefully, Thelma Ilams will be in the building to take over. But we'll be talking about another topic as regards to sickle cell
disorder. We'll be talking about pregnancy in sickle cell disorder.
Pregnancy in sickle cell disorder. So if you're a pregnant woman and you know that there's a possibility that your unborn child might be sickle cell, this is the show to listen to next week, Saturday, by 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We'll be back. Remember, this was brought to you in collaboration with the Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria. Have a wonderful day.